everybody. So I thought I'd do a video just explaining everything that's been going on lately, the absence of us, and also changes, the ever constant, ever present changes that the military loves to throw at you, and the old saying that every retiree knows and every active duty member is getting to know is the hurry up and wait. First order of business here for this video is to let you guys know of the ever-present military changes and the plans that have kind of transpired after Nate found out about something. So as you guys know, Nate was considering joining the Guard or Reserves when his active duty contract ends. So a little about that. If you're non-military related, I'm going to try and explain this the best way I can. Technically I'm a civilian. I'm just a dependent of Nate. I am not military myself. I don't know the correct terms. I would say I'm just describing this hopefully in a way that it's understandable. Not that it's super confusing, but when you sign on into the military, you usually have a contract of anywhere from like 2 to 6 years. Nate re-enlisted when we were in New Mexico, and his contract is due to end for active duty Air Force this March in 10.5 months. So I guess actually next March or this coming March. What that means is at that time, he'll have a decision to either leave active duty life or go reserves or go guard. Military life has been always a part of us. Both Nate and I, both of our dads and family members were in the military, and it's just always been something that we've known as military dependents growing up, and then, you know, him joining the Air Force. So leaving it entirely isn't something that he wants to do, especially since he's already put in, you know, 7 years of his life into the Air Force. At that 20-year mark, if he hits it as, you know, an active duty person in the military, he gets a retirement paycheck. He's already almost halfway there. Obviously, both of us would love to move to Washington, and that's what we're aiming for, and this is why I'm updating you here. There was a position that opened up when he was doing his decision briefing on whether or not he wanted to go guard or reserves after his active duty contract ends, find out more information about it, what options are open to him. And the reason he's not sitting with me right here, right now, is because he's downstairs doing homework. Otherwise, he could explain this to you probably way easier. But long story short, a position opened up that he found out during this decision briefing as an active duty Guard member up in McCord Air Force Base in Tacoma, Washington. And what that means is that, so for this position, this assignment, this active duty Guard, what he did was he applied for the position. He got an email back saying that he's been applied for, which guarantees him an interview. Once he has the interview, he'll find out more information, like when they need him up there, just general information about the job. And then if they accept him and they want him, because he still has time left in his active duty contract, he'll have to apply for what's called a Palace Chase. And what that does is basically has to go up the command chain, and people have to approve it to say, okay, well, you're going active duty Guard, and we approve it so you can end your active duty Air Force contract and switch over to active duty Guard. And if all those things go through accordingly, then he would become an active duty Guard member. And you may be wondering, well, I don't really know that much about Guard. So he would get all the benefits that he gets now. Nothing would change. The only thing that would change is we would get moved up to McCord Air Force Base sometime this year, which is great. He would still be active duty, so he wouldn't be working in the civilian world. His Monday through Friday job would still be doing what he does in the Air Force, except he'd be working as active duty Guard. And also, benefits would all be the same at the 20-year mark. He'll still get his retirement paycheck, which is great. And the bonus, the cherry on the cake, is that as an active duty Guard member, once you're stationed somewhere, unless you volunteer, you're there for the rest of your career. So that means if we got up to Washington, we would be there through the rest of his career. Now there are opportunities, obviously, if a special assignment opened up for him to go Germany or England, that, you know, we could always try for. But at this time, this is what we're trying for. About, I would say, a month ago. There was something similar to this, but at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, that we were really considering for like a couple days, and then we decided against it just because our main mission and goal is to end up in Washington. We ended up not going down that route, but that's okay. So I wanted to update you guys on that. I know I've updated you on a couple things, like Nate's going reserves. Just kidding, he's going guard. Absolutely just kidding. He's trying for active duty guard. Military life is literally just a waiting until things pop up process of ever present, ever constant ebb and flow of change. I cannot describe it any better than that, because it is, you never know. Like having a 5-year plan for like what you're, it's very hard to do. And you know, like I've said in previous vlogs and stuff, we're just ready to settle roots. Well, we got our first assignment, you guys know, was Ramstein, which I kind of wish we would have got later on in our age, just because I feel like we were a little naive and we didn't know any better. Even though I had lived there, I had only lived there as a kid, so as an adult, I didn't know all of the stuff that you needed to know. So going there as an older human being, I feel like we would handle things a lot better. But the traveling, I mean, that was amazing, an amazing part. And then we got New Mexico, which was not what we were trying for. We were trying for Texas, but I guess the Air Force thought New Mexico was closer, as close as they could get us to anyway. And we were there for a year and a half or 2 years. And then Nate did basic preference because he was re-enlisting, and we could choose 8 places because he did basic preference as re-enlisting, as a perk to re-enlisting. And you know, the top 2 were like Washington, McCord Air Force Base, and Fairchild, and the next 4 were Texas, or 5 were Texas, and then like the last 2 were Colorado Springs and then Buckley. So like the very last one, number 8, was Buckley, and they stuck us here. So can't complain too much because they did get us technically where it was on our list, but wasn't the top. So we've been here for, this July will be 2 years, and it's been an experience. There's definitely a lot to do here outside. It's just very congested with a lot of people, and even the locals will tell you, the natives here will tell you, you know, everybody needs to move away because it's just getting too crowded. Or you'll hear a lot of people in like the real estate business saying people are moving because it's just getting so overpacked with people here. It's just, the traffic here is really bad. But other than that, living here has been fine. It's not a place where we want to settle roots, but it's definitely something we can check off our bucket list. And as far as the elevation goes, you'll feel it sometimes, especially if you're being active. But otherwise it's been fine. I would definitely visit here if you haven't visited here before, because there are some beautiful places to see, and there are some historic things to see here too. They have a couple castles here in Colorado I don't know if you guys knew about, but if you didn't, we have vlogged a couple of them, so I would say check that out if you're into that type of stuff. So the second thing I wanted to bring up real quick, other than like the whole military thing, is, so keep your fingers crossed, actually, before I end that, keep your fingers crossed for us and hope that happens. It would be great for Nate's career, so he could stay and get those benefits, and also it would get us to Washington. It would be like a 2-for-1 for us, and it would be just a blessing, honestly. So there's that. So Air Force, if you're watching, if you want to hook us up, anybody out there, we'd appreciate it. Second thing would be, obviously it's very hard for me to daily vlog, and I don't do it as much as I used to just because of work, and I would love to go back to it. It's a passion of mine. YouTube has been a passion of mine. I remember when we first moved to Germany, the whole premises of me doing it was to help other military families, or just show people, like the whole concept of USAAFF family was travel and lifestyle. It was to show you guys around, especially like in overseas in Germany, and to talk to you guys about our life and share things about ourselves and experiences, and being the TMI queen that I am, to tell you about stuff that's been going on with me. And it's been harder to do just these past 2 years just because I've been working. Mind you, I don't work full time, but I do evenings and overnights, so it's made me really lethargic and very tired these past couple of years. So right now, I am still doing overnights. I'm hoping that changes soon though, just because I can't really do them. It's very hard to juggle the schedules with Nate's schedule and my schedule and Christeene's schedule. I can do evenings, but overnights are just too hard for us as a whole anymore. And it does wear on you a lot, especially, I mean, I consider myself a night owl, but it's just very hard. But I do want to do, and I will keep up with YouTube. If I don't do daily vlogging, which if we do travel somewhere, I'll daily vlog. Otherwise, I'm going to do weekly vlogs where it's like, you know, Sunday to Sunday or Saturday to Saturday or something like that, where I just show you day by day what's going on. And if we do anything super special like travel, obviously that will be dedicated to just one video. I'm hoping there's a change to our channel and that we can change it into something that's really great for you guys, something more updated, something that's very interactive. So I'm hoping that comes to fruition. It's just something I have to work on. So if there's anything more that you'd like to see in our videos or less of, I don't mind critiques. I just, as long as they're, you know, the type that help improve, then I'm down for it. If you guys want to leave anything in the comments down below. And also you guys can feel free to email us. Our email is our channel name, usaaffamily@gmail.com. And I do try to email you guys back if you do email. And if you guys comment, we do try to reply. So I do very much like staying in contact with you guys. I know some of you guys have been following us since Germany, and it's really great, and I appreciate every single one of you who have been following us since then, because you guys have seen literally Christine grow up from a toddler to a 9-year-old, and you've seen our, you know, stories with fertility issues or our miscarriage that we had, and then the ectopic pregnancy we just had a couple months ago. And speaking of that real quick, Nate and I do want to try for another baby. It's just a matter of mentally and emotionally being prepared for that. Just because when I had the surgery, I lost TMI, but here you are. I like only have half of my female reproductive system that can produce a baby left, because they had to take the other half out because that's where the baby was during the ectopic pregnancy. So I can still get pregnant, it's just a little bit harder. And if it doesn't happen, Nate and I are okay with that too, because we got blessed with Christine, so it's not something that's like absolutely devastating to us. I just might need to get about 10 more cats, but other than that, it is what it is, and I've come to that point in realization in our life. Lastly, I'm going to be doing a box swap with somebody here on YouTube as well, and I will link her down below if you want to check out her channel. She's super sweet, and her Snapchats are always fun to watch, so I'll leave her link down below, and I'm excited about that. And I hope you all are doing really well, and I just wanted to update you on all this stuff and let you guys know what's going on with our lives. So I will see you guys in the next video, and before this or after this, one of the two, you're gonna see a vlog of Christine's birthday. And then also, guys, on Thursday, I'm getting my hair done professionally. I'm very excited. It's gonna go, it's like a balayage, so it's gonna go like darker. It's like what you kind of see my natural hair colors coming through, to like a bright blonde. I'm very excited to get it done professionally, and I'm gonna be growing it out too to about here. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.